Okay, so my name's Didlix and this is my first screen recording. This is a 1v1 where I am playing against Madcap911. I'm the blue player and Madcap is the orange player, and I decided that I wanted to start doing these screencasts just to highlight some of the ways players can improve their game. So I've gone straight for a air factory build to do some scouting. As you can see, we've ended up really close together, but I find scouts are the best way to quickly find where a player is located so you can go on the offensive as quickly as possible. And then I move immediately onto a vehicle factory. The eco in this game does seem to allow it that you can get away with building a couple of factories, sometimes even 3, provided you've got enough metal nearby, and actually you won't run into power problems straight away. So Madcap, their first mistake is that they've gone straight into eco. I had a conversation with them at the end of the game and there was some complaint about spawn anywhere because we were too close together, but I think this just highlights that you never know where your enemy will be and you want to make sure. So as you can see, I've now scouted Madcap, so I know immediately where to start sending my troops. But yeah, so Madcap's only now just getting an air factory online and I've already found out where they are and I'm already pumping out vehicles and sending them in Madcap's direction. I've got some engineers going out and I decided to go straight for a pelter to put some artillery on their base. Basically, once I found out Madcap was so close, I decided I wanted to go immediately on a pretty aggressive offensive. I've now got my fabricator building some mass points to the south of my base. And as you can see, I've already lost a vehicle to Madcap, but I am starting to micro them and send them around to get a look at their base. Any minute now, I'm going to spot that. There we go. I've spotted that they've gone for engineers, air engineers. And I've just taken them out, and as you can see, Madcap now has no engineers, so that is a huge loss at the start of the game when I'm already on the offensive. And that's another engineer down. So Madcap's actually taking some initiative and moving in and taking out my fighters, and does seem to now be going in to take out my, to take out my Ripper. So I'm now starting to lose air troops, and it does take me a few minutes to realise this and change my approach vector slightly. As you can see, I've got a growing number of vehicles now on the approach. I've gone for a bit of power. As you can see, my efficiency is 100%, which is a bit poor. I could be pushing things a lot harder. Madcap's also at 100% efficiency, but that's no surprise really because they've just got one air factory. And Madcap's commander is still taking out my air units. My pelter's getting close to being finished and I'm moving on to another vehicle factory. And that's another engineer down from Madcap, who is now putting out some anti-air, which is a good move, but they've now lost all their engineers again and seem to have apparently given up on building engineers for the moment and are now going for air defense. And of course, because Madcap doesn't yet have a radar, I put a radar up some time ago. Madcap has no idea quite how close I am. Madcap's not really done any scouting. Madcap has just taken out my engineer, so my pelter is not finished. That was quite, I think, a lucky move, to be honest. So Madcap's starting to actually get some defences against what I've been playing at, except now my land's starting to build up and move in. And Madcap's just not prepared for this. As you can see, there's already some damage to their commander. So I've now got my commander finishing the pelter. I'm tempted to move my commander straight in and take on Madcaps because there really is no way of stopping me. I've got vehicles that Madcap doesn't have, and my commander's nearby, and Madcap's already taken damage. So I think at this point I opt to go in and start attacking. My Pelter's online and is taking out some of Madcap's base. I could at this point be producing way more factories, but because I've got such good scouting position and such good radar, I know that this game is over soon. Madcap really should have gone straight into a vehicle build and done some scouting. People who start with eco, I think, are hoping to play the long game. I think they like to build up big bases and go for a full-out attack, and they're never quite expecting someone who's going to go on the aggressive straight away with scouting and then the attack. One thing Madcap should have done is set up a vehicle factory and an air factory at the start. A mix of both types of engineers is quite a good way to stop them being picked off quite so easily. So you can see I'm opting for a bot factory. I think at this point I just want to have some fun with some grenadiers. While my units are attacking Madcap, I've decided to send my commander in to reclaim their base. So yeah, don't just rely on air engineers because they can be taken out so easily. As you saw at the start, I took out so many of them. Don't go straight for eco in this build. Your commander really does provide you enough to go straight on the offensive. Scout out where your competitor is. Make sure you set up a radar. Still, Madcap has no idea what I've got and just can't plan what to do and is just reacting. And Madcap's gone down. My commander's reclaimed. It was over pretty much in the first minute when Madcap started off at eco. So that's it for my first practice screencast. My name's Didlix, and thank you to Disco McDisco for giving me some advice on what to do.